Great. Welcome to Oh Brother News. I'm Gabe,
James.
and we're excited. We had more viewers than ever on the last video, so let's keep it going.
And
All right,
I
what do you?
actually
So
want
I was just pitching James about some topics I want to talk about. We'll get into those, but what are you wanting to talk about?
oh my god, I was reading some shit from the Epstein files today because I was watching some of these a couple other podcasters and they're talking about like I don't remember who said it. I don't remember which podcaster, but they're talking about like I think it was Young Turks. I think it was Young Turks actually, right? And they were well, there was one thing I for sure watching the Young Turks, and oh my god, it's bad. And they were talking about like why is it that major news, even MS Now, MSNBC, MS Now, they're talking about, oh, Donald Trump's in these files a lot. Elon Musk's in these files. Here's a little tidbit of something about somebody famous. Here's a little something about, current commerce secretary, right? But nothing, they haven't shown the awfulness of it. And I don't think it even comes close to registering to people how awful it was. You know what I mean? They think, all right, these are some girls in their late teens, probably. Maybe they looked older, maybe they didn't. And that's people get this idea in their head, or a lot of people get this idea in their head, or they want to believe it's not as bad as what people would say or think. It's the same reason people would support Trump, is like people don't want to accept the worst of somebody lots of times. They don't want to believe things are as bad as they are, right? When it talks about like threats of democracy, people don't want to imagine democracy going away or whatever because it's hard for the brain to cope with or whatever, right? So news media is not doing anybody any favors, like just showing the little bits and tidbits that they show, right? It's like, okay, here's some embarrassing shit, but it
Like
doesn't
as
really
you
show
thought,
anything
it's not
horrible.
that bad.
But oh my God, man, when you're reading the diary of a girl who has a form of Down syndrome, and such that she has Down syndrome, but she doesn't look like she has Down syndrome. And all the people are talking about how beautiful this girl is and everything else. And they have her
She's
there.
how old?
She was, well, I don't know how old was they when they got her, but, during the time she was writing her diary in captivity there, she was 16 when she gave birth with Ghislaine Maxwell holding her hands over her eyes so she can't see her giving birth, and then her only seeing her baby for a few seconds before they took it away, you know?
When she's 16.
Yeah. And then you're talking about this other dude, who was, like, raping her and biting her and things like that and all the things like that, and then somebody emailing back to Jeffrey Epstein about how they loved the torture videos that they sent him, and then, you know, uh,
So this sounds
the
like the
the
stuff
the
that was in the.
the email that there's a doctor who emailed Jeffrey Epstein, talk about in a PS, and some dude's been he was paying him like 50 grand a pop, right? And he had a PS to Jeffrey Epstein because this guy's like a brain surgeon guy, like he studies the brain and neurology and stuff, and he gave Jeffrey and Epstein a nice little PS. Hey, PS, newborns will suck on a pacifier more vigorously if they are conditioned to hear their mother's voice afterwards, like a recording of their mother's voice instead of just any female's voice. It's like, dude, you read this. I mean, this is like the most awful of the awful, right? And so when you see things that are that awful, I'm like, how is it that they're not blasting? People would be more up in arms about it if they actually read it. 99.9% of people aren't reading the shit that's getting released. It's getting some podcasters, some other people, some journalists are getting it. And like the major media corporation, like media, like CBS, ABC, Fox, MSN Now,
I think
they're
people
not
just
running with
haven't
this shit.
decided.
It's so salacious that they're like, whoa, we can't air this shit. This is horrible, right? But it's
I think they
so
just haven't
horrible.
decided what to dig into yet. No?
Who? What? You just think they haven't decided what to dig into?
Yeah, I think they just haven't, like it's still, like it's it's 3 million documents, it's 188,000 pictures, and 2,000 videos, like, I don't know how many hours of video that is, but, like, it's a shitload of stuff to comb through,
I don't
and they're
know.
actively, like,
Yeah,
changing it.
but the Ellisons take over CBS. Fox isn't going to air this shit. Jeff
Just gutted
Bezos just
The
Washington
Washington Post.
Post just Jeff Bezos just got rid of like all their foreign correspondents and they're gutting that place. I mean, most media is only controlled by a small segment of people, you know. And I just think this shit's going to get buried. I just think even if it got released, some of it, not even all of it. Shit, there's so much more
Right,
damning
remember
shit.
TikTok is also on TikTok is
Exactly,
also
TikTok is banning the shit and
and then you're hearing that, like, people are when they're typing
mhm,
Epstein into DMs or they're typing ICE into
just
DMs,
yeah, flagging
it's not
community
going out
standard.
when people are
Yeah,
putting out videos that have anything to do with Epstein or ICE, they're just quietly not being shown, just, like, shadow
yeah,
banning the accounts and the content that they don't want, which is just to like pat myself on the back for the new people who weren't here when we were talking about this before, but like the danger of TikTok was never the data that China would have on us. Like that is a valuable weapon, but that was never the big thing. The big thing was being able to direct our attention and choose what gets seen, like what stories get promoted. It's like there's a difference between like freedom of speech and freedom of reach. Like yeah, just because you can talk doesn't mean that everyone's gonna be able to hear you, and, like, having algorithmic control over who sees what means you get to decide what the story is and what opinion gets, you know, blasted out and which one gets pushed down.
yeah. I mean, I always thought, yeah, that's true. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like I think like before I was always like, dude, this shit ain't coming out. This shit ain't coming out. And there's still an awful lot more. There's millions and millions more that they're not releasing.
Mhm.
There's a lot of stuff redacted out of the awfulness that they released. Tons of it's
There's
just
stuff that's
black.
redacted that doesn't make any sense either, where, like, it's like,
The first dump you're talking about, right?
a
The redacted.
singer is like, "Had a great time last night with your littlest girl," and the sender is redacted. But
Well,
then,
yeah,
like they'll take a victim and they'll show the driver's license, the
license.
picture,
Yeah,
and the name,
and the address and everything is
but then redact the address. So, like, you looked at it and went like, "Okay, we can't put the address, but, like, the picture is fine." And then there's allegedly, like, pictures or video of people, like, underage and naked that they released. Like, they're very clearly, like, not protecting the victims. And they are very clearly protecting the Johns. Another thing, like 2 other things I thought were really interesting is, like, interestingly, person who does not appear anywhere, so I heard this, I haven't, like, looked through it to see if he appears, but person who does not appear, who's, like, a very prominent world figure you think not in the Epstein files at all?
He's not a world figure,
Actually, no, but actually
but
One of Mom Donnie's parents is in there for something. Like they were not like in a way that makes him look bad, it was just
you're
like
gonna
they
say
were
Bernie
mentioned.
Sanders.
Netanyahu.
No, but the Mossad and Israeli intelligence is all over
Well,
this
there's a whole
shit.
lot of, like there's
Oh
this
my
comedian named Sammy Obeid who, like, does a lot of he does a lot of wordplay and he's clever, but he also, like, puts out a lot of information that I don't hear from everywhere else, and he kinda connects a lot of dots, and he has, like, a comedy set that's, like, an hour long that he makes a really good case for, like, um, for Epstein being connected to Mossad. Like, Ghislaine
well,
Maxwell's
yeah,
dad was part of
they lived in
Mossad.
his house. They lived in his house.
Yeah,
They
well, I mean,
put up
that's
the
why
security.
that
I
would be
mean,
why Netanyahu doesn't show up. But you know who does show up and who is in there, right?
Vladimir
Like,
Putin a lot. Well,
is
yeah.
Vladimir Putin a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I didn't learn that until this drop either. I didn't
yeah,
realize
that's
he
like
was in there.
yeah, they were talking I can't remember if it was what newspaper, if it was I can't remember if there was a new can't remember who was talking about it, but they were talking about, like, this being kind of like all the signs of a classic Russian honeypot operation, you know? And a lot of the girls come from Russia and over there in Eastern Bloc countries, a lot of Russian influence. I mean, it explains a lot of the like Steve Bannon going back and forth and the Evan connection, like trying to go back and forth
Steve
with
Bannon
Putin.
was like trying to make
He was trying to
a
make inroads in
documentary
there.
on Epstein. So like most of his correspondence is like from 2017 and
Yeah, but his
2019.
yeah, but they were doing a lot of talking about Putin, and Jeffrey Epstein was giving him a lot of
Oh.
stuff about Putin, and there was a lot of things about Bannon talking about. There's a whole bunch of Putin connections in there, you know.
Mm.
And Jeffrey Epstein met with Putin, talked to Putin, and things like that. And you know, what I mean, it's like it would make more sense for how he just kind of came out of nowhere and
I don't think he
poof.
came out of nowhere.
Well, I mean, he before the Victoria's Secret guy. Nobody really knew where he ever had any money until he took over the controlling, like, he controlled what's his name? The dude from Victoria's Secret, the dude who owned Victoria's Secret. He somehow, like, scammed him or whatever and, like, just kind of got power of attorney over his whole estate, and he just kind of ran the Victoria's Secret fortune,
But the
or the dude's fortune.
the guy who invented Victoria's Secret
What was the name?
sold it for like $2 million or $200 million. There's a I don't know this for a fact, but it's in the Facebook movie. It's like a Justin Timberlake monologue. He's talking about the guy who started Victoria's Secret and like tells a story of how he uh he was trying to buy lingerie for his wife, and
Lex
then he
Wexner. Les Wexner. There you go. Yeah, the
is that
founder.
that's the guy who started it, or the guy
Yeah,
who
the
like owned
founder
it
the founder
afterwards?
the founder and former CEO of Victoria's Secret parent company, yeah, and
But he sold it for like $200 million, and like some not very long later, 5-10 years later, it was worth over $2 billion, and I think he killed himself or something like that. Is that right?
I don't remember. Founder, CEO,
I'm
close
just
friend
half
with
remembering from the
Epstein,
Facebook rant
his
from the Facebook movie.
who was his only known client for over a decade, Epstein, right?
Or
Wes
he was Epstein's only client, or
or
Epstein was.
Les Wexner was Epstein's only client for over a decade. Epstein
Uh-huh.
served as Epstein served as Wexner's personal money manager. He held power of attorney. He had sweeping control over his finances, real estate, and philanthropy, including managing Wexner's not yacht and acquiring his Manhattan mansion. Da, 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 da. He never officially worked for Victoria's Secret, but he posed as a talent scout for the brand to lure models, including an incident in '97 when he assaulted model Alicia Arden in a hotel room. Executives at L Brands raised concerns in the '90s about Epstein's attempts to get involved in model recruitment, but his influence persisted despite Wexner's promises to intervene. He supposedly severed ties with Epstein around 2007 after Epstein's first sex crime conviction, stating he was
Everyone
sickened by his
supposedly
behavior.
severed ties with him, but no one really did.
Oh, yeah. So, but like, yeah, for over 10 years, that was the only person Epstein apparently knew. Like before that, who was Epstein? What did he, all of a sudden, he was a money manager for this guy, and then he got power of attorney. They started doing everything and controlling his money. And there was wondering, like, there was talk about, like, was he just having blackmail on Les Wexner? What happened? How did this all go down? What was going on? But I mean, from then on, and after that,
I
Epstein
thought
was
he
off
got
to
a
the
lot of
races.
I thought he got a bunch of money from when Ghislaine Maxwell's father died. Was that not related? I guess I just don't know my Epstein lore very well.
I didn't, I haven't researched so much. Let's see. His entry into finance started in the mid '70s when he taught at the Dalton School in New York without a college degree.
That's what I thought. I thought he was like a professor or something,
Then he tutored the
but I
son
guess
of Bear
that's
Stearns
teaching.
CEO. He tutored the son of Bear Stearns CEO Alan Greenberg, who helped him secure a job in the investment bank. In the '80s, he transitioned from broker to client, reportedly working as a bounty hunter, recovering stolen assets for the ultra wealthy. That made him a millionaire by 1984. Okay, so he did have money. He was a millionaire by '84.
Hmm, okay.
But whatever. It's '88, he founded his own firm, blah blah blah, catered exclusively to billionaires, and then whatever. From there on, then tax breaks. He significantly boosted his wealth by relocating his business to the U.S. Virgin Islands. Whatever. He had $300 million in. He saved $300 million not paying taxes from '99 to 2018.
See, like
Whatever. So I guess he did make money at first, but
I've only seen the like really widely reported stuff, and then
yeah.
like some things that are kind of interesting. Like I saw on the Young Turks, they were talking about Noam Chomsky, like giving him advice after the second conviction about like,
Mm.
"Oh, just ignore it, like, you can't prove," and, like, I guess you wanna give Noam Chomsky, because he's Noam Chomsky, like, the benefit of the doubt, like, like, people have accused him of wild shit, and so he's just like, "One guy who's been wrongly accused of wild shit to another, you just gotta, like, you can't prove you're not, like, a fucking Nazi lover, like, so, like, fuck it, you just gotta, like, ignore it and let it blow over." So, like, maybe, but, like, also, if
Anybody
you're
who
that smart, you
who's
should
been to
know
his
this is the
house,
second time, like,
anybody who's been to his
it's pretty fucking damning.
anybody who ever went to his place, they know better.
I don't know if he went to the place or not.
I don't know, but I was looking at all the, I mean, like, Oh god, here's the thing there. Yeah. Oh, the UCLA professor. By the way, this is the dude.
Kid.
That is
Can't
the
stand.
dude who was telling Epstein about making newborns suck more vigorously.
Gross.
Yeah.
Fucking disgusting. What's his name?
His name is Mark Tramo.
Mark Tramo. Fucking disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah. It says P.S. Was just reading today that newborns will suck on a pacifier. He did say on a pacifier, but they will suck on a pacifier more vigorously if it triggers playback of a recording of his mother's voice rather than another woman's voice. Yeah. Have you read David Brooks' Social Animal? It was number one in New York Times books for quite a while.
Okay, like
That was a PS to.
okay, like look, like in a certain context, that's very, very fucked up,
I
right?
mean, I
There
I
is a
mean,
context in which talking about research about babies like sucking
I'm
harder when like
I'm
that it
sure
is
there's
not
some.
disgusting, but
Yes,
like
I'm
I
sure there's
who
some
knows
context
which
where it could be benign. I can't
when
think of
is
it.
it?
I tried thinking of it. I couldn't imagine it. Um, it
He's talking about it could be he's talking about, but I'm not like trying to like find this guy a fucking path to like being okay. Like when was he saying this to Epstein?
well, this was that email
I feel
was
like that's more relevant.
well, he had 1,500 emails with Epstein. This one was in
Jesus fuck.
2017.
Never mind. Fuck this guy. It doesn't. I don't care when he said the thing. 1,500 emails is like you should have figured it out. That's too
Yeah.
much. You can't be homies with the fucking monster for long enough to have 1,500 emails and then like get a pass for maybe. No, fuck that guy. Garbage.
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah, but I mean, anybody who's been to his place, this is the one with all the videos. This isn't the one with all the pictures and stuff of his house. But I mean,
I
yeah,
mean, one thing I guess like just to find some levity here, like I thought this was kind of funny. Uh, that there was a picture of or an episode of The Simpsons where Lisa Simpson is sitting on Stephen Hawking's lap. He's in his like, you know, his chair. He drives with his mouth with his
yeah,
straw. Um, and on the side of it, the meme is like, or smiles, and then it was like 2024, and it was just like, and uh apparently like Stephen Hawking had a time traveler party where he was like, okay, this will go down in the history books. Everyone in the future will know, like, hey, I'm Stephen Hawking and I'm having a time traveler party. So if you can like time travel back, come to my time travel party. And then like no one from the future time traveled back to his time travel party, which like could mean that like, you know, we never figure out time travel at any point in the future. Or it could mean uh that the time travel party was at Epstein Island, and that's why no one fucking came because they all know, like, oh, fuck that guy. He's a real piece of shit. We're not going back to then.
yeah,
So, oh, that was, I guess that's what passes for the fun, lighthearted jokes portion of the fucking Epstein news. Like, it's all pretty fucked.
yeah. Just, I mean, I can't imagine. I can't imagine. Whatever. I mean, what
So is this like, is this like
the
really
thing that pissed me
gross
off,
stuff you're reading? Like,
the thing that made me trigger that instant react, like jump to that conclusion
yeah.
before I even know about the 1,500 emails back and forth was I read that one right after hearing about that 16-year-old girl and taking her baby away. You know what I mean?
It's like it's 10 months. It's 10 months to have a baby. And like, here's the other thing is like, it's almost just like,
And then the Donald Trump thing threatening to. I mean, just they
I think it's a yeah, and there's the one about like the about alleging like Donald Trump like was there when they killed his rape baby. So like, but here's the damning thing about this, right? Like, if you are having the world's wealthiest, most powerful men fuck children without condoms and without pulling out,
complete
okay?
debauchery. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Why wouldn't you put them on fucking birth control? Like
Because
in
well,
addition to like depraved and disgusting, you're also just like incompetent. Like
well,
you know what I mean? Like
if they have them there on the island and there's nowhere for them to go and you take the baby from them, maybe they don't really care
but, like, the evidence and then, like, the
after they take
pregnant
the baby away.
children that you're having it's
I
just, like,
don't know,
so
man.
much more gross, man.
It's
It's just, like,
gross.
so much more fucking gross. It's like like, it's like like, dehumanizing, you know? It's like treating people like cattle. Like, it's like, "Oh, yeah, we're gonna force you to be pregnant, force you to have the child, kill the child?" Like,
Or take it. I think
or
take it. I
like,
think
dude,
just
that's
take it.
like,
I think just take it and give it to some rich person who wants a kid.
"No, dude, no.
You don't think so? I don't know, man. I'm just that's just in my head.
No,
I was
dude,
like,
because
what
like,
would they? I
each
mean, I'm like, I don't
because
know, man.
each such child is evidence of
Evidence of a crime.
crime,
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't know.
like,
I
of
don't
a
know.
like, a despicable end your life crime.
All I know though is, I mean, do you think there'll ever be an actual do you think there'll actually be real consequences for any of this? Any of this shit? That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I mean,
Here's
you
2
talk about
questions.
evidence of a crime, and there's so much evidence here that it's unbelievable. If they weren't all super rich, well-connected people with fucking Israeli intelligence and prime ministers, and if they weren't so well-connected and everything else, if this was just, if this was fucking, if it was P Diddy, if it was P Diddy, he's just he was rich, but he was just rapper rich. You know what I mean? He
And
was a
I
rapper
actually
in
use
fashion mode. I mean, he would go down in flames for it. These people are of a status so much higher than that. You know what I mean?
P.
Do you
Diddy got
think
away with
he
doing
got
some
away with an awful lot for a
pretty
long time?
horrific,
Yes,
horrible shit.
for a long time. Yes.
Okay, I shouldn't
So
say
did
this,
these
but this
people,
is I jokingly use, a
and
P.
even that was
Diddy
adults. I mean,
as a
that was
unit of measure.
yeah.
1 P how many P. Diddies of lube is necessary? How many P. Diddies? Anyway, terrible joke. No, no, okay, so you asked, like, "Do you think anyone will have consequences?" Right? And
Yeah.
so
Do you think
I
there'll
feel
be
like
crime? Do you think
there's 2 I'm gonna answer 2 questions, 2 versions of that question. The first version is, do I think
jail,
that, like,
criminals will be
law
charged?
enforcement
Yeah.
somewhere in America, actually
Yes.
3 questions. Will law enforcement in America
Ever do anything about it.
publicly, you know, have trials and have real meaningful punishment for some of these people? I think no fucking way.
Wow. Yeah.
No fucking
And that's
way.
infuriating, and that's infuriating.
No, and that's infuriating. But the second question is, do I think anywhere in the world will look into it and hold somebody
They are.
to
Poland's doing
account?
it. Poland.
Yes, Poland's looking into it. So that's why I think like, well, maybe somewhere else will hold somebody accountable for something.
But it just don't go to Poland.
But
Yeah.
the third question is, um, will anyone have consequences? Okay. And that takes my mind right to Luigi Mangione. And I think, yeah, I think somebody will have consequences. I think somebody will somebody will have
I
consequences.
mean, that guy Tramo, Dr. Tramo, his consequence so far was that his contract was not renewed with UCLA.
There was the guy who was like I think Larry Summers, like former president of
Oh, yeah.
Harvard,
Yeah, he's
and
got
he
a
had like I feel like stuff came out in
got
the earlier tranche, and I don't feel like it was like particularly damning, but he
and
like admitted it and then like resigned all of his posts.
Howard Lutnick, nothing for him yet.
Netlick has
Nutlick, yeah.
I just saw some stuff about Netlick today. I can't
Mhm.
remember what it was like a major publication, maybe CNN or I can't remember which one. Maybe it was Wall Street Journal, but it was kind of going through a bunch of different people I was trying to like read through to kind
Yeah.
of get up to speed for this.
But they're not even the worst. I mean,
But it talked about Netflix specifically. It was like him and his wife went. Like he went with his wife and they're like emailing, like his wife is emailing the secretary and then he's emailing Epstein. They're both talking like,
yeah.
hey, when's going to be a good time for dinner? So like that stuff didn't seem like too awful. I don't know that there's not some other stuff that is. I don't know everything that's on there on that guy, but at least that
Oh,
part that I heard about him wasn't,
hey.
was just like social.
I just saw this. Pam Bonley is apparently freaking out. Apparently, Epstein investigations have been launched now by the UK and France and Poland and Lithuania, and other countries are all starting to take suit. 'Cause, I mean, a lot of those girls came from Europe. I mean, they came
That's
from
what I'm
everywhere.
saying. Dude, and it's like, this is a mountain of evidence. This
It
isn't just
is.
like it's not just the United States that can hold people accountable.
I know, but
It's like the whole world isn't the United States. You make it so that like so that a whole bunch of people can't go anywhere in Europe, that's a much more serious consequence than just like, you know,
I'm
you're
just
not on the board of OpenAI anymore.
yeah. I mean, I just can't. I mean, man, some of the stuff that's coming out Not the stuff they're talking about on the big major new publications, but man, some of the stuff coming out is just so awful. It's like, I mean, I cannot imagine how much nauseating, disgusting, horrific stuff that you would expect from like the worst B horror movie. You know what I mean? Like a
No,
really
it's like the
bad.
movie 8mm.
Either way, I mean,
Well,
like, just
you
what do you
saw
think is
8mm, right?
best acted? Yeah, I a long time ago. Yeah, the snuff film thing. Was that Nicolas Cage or something? Yeah, no, Nicolas
No,
Cage was like
it's like
what?
exactly this
That's a long
actually,
time
like,
ago.
Nicolas Cage
Yeah, that's a long time
is
ago.
like a detective or an
Detective.
investigator of some
Yeah, and
kind,
he had to
and
watch
he's, like,
these
looking
videos and
for,
try to
like, a
find
missing
evidence.
girl, and what he finds is that she was, like, put into, like, a child sex ring where they would do
Yeah,
pedophilia and then murder
yeah,
and make snuff films out of it, and so,
yeah,
like, he, like, gets all the way into the heart of the thing and, like, has a whole
yeah. I mean, some of the
crisis.
emails,
But it's like that.
yeah, it's just it's
Wait, I keep
insane.
wanting to ask you this question. I
Sorry.
wanted to, like,
Yeah,
ask you
we can move
before
on
you
from this
forget.
stuff anyway, man. It's like
No, but, like, do you think that so, like, this stuff being in there, which I didn't realize there was stuff that was, like, this horrendous, but do you think that this lends some
Credence to the Sasha Riley.
credibility back to Sasha Riley?
I mean, maybe. I mean, yeah, sure, maybe. I mean, here's the thing: the Epstein files is a big, wide collection of everything. I don't care about all here. Epstein files
Like, the stuff in the tip line that, like,
of the
people
tip
called into the
line
FBI is
to
maybe
the
less
whatever. Yeah,
credible than stuff
exactly,
in the email.
exactly. That's one thing, right? Tip
Yeah.
line, you really got to take with a grain of salt. You got to, I mean, not really,
But
depending on the
anybody
timing
coulda
too.
just called in and
But yeah, tip
blamed
lines
whoever
can
they
say
got a
anything,
grudge
man.
against.
I mean, yes, tip lines are one thing. Just the stuff they say in the emails and the oh man, Hope Hicks. Sorry, another section. They're talking about Hope Hicks anyway. Um, but I mean, like the things in the emails when you read, when they have a lot of emails back and forth and innuendo, and they're sending huge sums of money, and then they're going to the island where this other stuff happened. You see the place. That's a little
Follow the
different.
money is always the way to figure out what really happened.
It's. I mean, yeah, and it's not bulletproof because I mean they don't just come out and say everything. Wow, it's great fucking that 10-year-old. They don't say that. You know what I mean?
They say pretty close to that and
But
stuff that I've seen.
they say an awful lot very close to it. I mean they
"Had a
talk.
great time with your littlest girl last night."
Yes,
Like, what
yeah,
the fuck
I
does that
know.
mean?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, even if it's like, I fucked the skinny 21-year-old model who's like, just like, a prostitute, like, that's kind of a fucking creepy ass way to say that, you know? Like,
Littlest,
even if you're
yeah,
just garden variety whoring, that's still a creepy ass fucking way to refer to your whoring, you know? Your littlest girl.
yeah. And the
Yeah.
book and the diary and I mean, come on, man. I mean, yeah, it's so obvious, and we've already talked. And it's already so obvious. That's one thing. But I'm just saying, a tip line or something like that is something
Less
else.
credible.
It's. Well, I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say less. I mean, I guess I don't like to use that word. That makes it sound like
Like, you
it's
just
less
need to
credible.
it
You can't.
requires more
Mo-
corroboration and,
yes,
like, and
yes,
more, like,
exactly.
scrutiny.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. So, like,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's it. It's gross though, man. I mean, it's gross, and it's way worse than man. And like the diary, yes, it is just like I mean, you'd think like a tip line, but it's different. Uh, an underage girl's diary who's there, who's writing stuff, and the way they write poems and things, and the things they're talking about, and the people they're talking about. How else would a 15 or 16-year-old girl with Down syndrome be on an island where Jeffrey Epstein was doing all these other things here, right? And how would she be writing about people like Leon Black? This guy in Leon
I
Black.
haven't heard of Leon Black.
Yeah, he's
I haven't
the
heard that
guy
name
here.
before.
Leon Black is here. Leon Black Epstein.
The only
I
Leon
mean,
I know is Leon Kennedy.
he's a billionaire. I mean, okay, he's a billionaire. Leon Black.
Okay.
Um, longtime friend and patron. Who gave him millions and millions and millions of dollars. You know what I mean? Leo Black was a close friend and associate of convicted sexual offender, blah, blah, blah. He received over $150 million in payments from Black to Epstein. That's how much he paid him, $150 million for alleged tax and estate planning services, in $50,000 segments. He maintained his relationship with Epstein well after the 2008 conviction. Newly released Justice Department documents include disturbing allegations against Black, including claims of sexual abuse of a 16-year-old girl with autism and a rare form of Down syndrome in 2002. So 2002, okay, 6 years before he ever got convicted of anything, 6 years before Epstein was ever in the news. I guarantee you, a 16-year-old girl in 2002 had no fucking clue who Leon Black was, a guy born in 1951 who's an American private equity investor and the CEO of Apollo Global Management. What 16-year-old girl just randomly is name dropping in her diary this guy, billionaire, who's going down there, he's friends with Epstein and all the horrible things he's doing to her?
Okay, but bro, just to
You see what I'm saying?
just to
That's
steel
not an
man the
FBI
other
tip.
side for a second, like, there's no way that a 16-year-old girl is gonna know that. So, like, if it is a si but here's the thing, there is someone who is the enemy or has something to gain from going after this billionaire. He fucked somebody's wife, he ruined someone's business, he stole someone's idea, he was a fucking dick that one time, and they spun a yarn and authored it as if saying it was, "Oh, look, the book by the 16-year-old girl with Down," but who doesn't exist. Does the girl with Down syndrome is 16 does not exist? Is that a fiction? Or is that like a real person but had who had no connection with any of it, and like the diary is, attributed to them, but like a complete work of fiction as a hit piece, elaborate, particularly elaborate, very specific hit piece that doesn't come out until now. It makes it seem a lot less.
I don't
I
know,
don't
man.
know, man. I
Either
can't even come
way,
up with like a good.
I'm just saying, though, it's like they're not name dropping. They're not name dropping the biggest names in the world that people know. You know what I mean? When
Yeah.
they're writing in their diary, it's not like they're saying Bill Clinton, Donald Trump. Okay, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump were known names for forever, right? Leon Black, who?
I
You know what I
literally
mean?
never heard of
You see
I
what I'm saying?
never heard of him before.
Exactly. I didn't either until I mean, but I'm saying there's a lot of these people. Mark Tramo. I mean, come on, these aren't
No,
everyday names. You know
no
what I mean?
idea.
They're not
Yeah,
everyday
no.
names. So when you combine the fact that all these people who they have evidence were being flown back and forth on Epstein's jet here, underage girls, and going here, and a girl with autism and Down syndrome, and going here to this
They have
island, and
correspondence,
they're
and then
doing
you
this
got
stuff,
this.
and their correspondence going to these people, and they're writing their little diary. A girl with Down syndrome is writing in her diary about stuff and hating Leon Black and writing and all these things in her handwriting and talking about how he bit her and this and this, and I mean, it's horrible things, and what I mean? It gives
Look,
more
man,
evidence.
I'm just saying,
First of
like,
all, so
I'm not saying someone should avail themselves of some United Healthcare. But what I am
I know
saying is that
you think it'll
my
happen.
guess
Yeah,
is that
it'll happen.
someone will avail themselves of some
Yeah,
United Healthcare at
yeah.
some point.
I hope so, but oh, it's just gross. But either way, what I was going to say is when these people are with all the evidence that you can see that supports that. Oh yeah, there's some sick shit happened here with these girls and everything else, right? And then when you combine that with some of these other people making credible allegations about people, maybe Donald Trump or something else, way before Donald Trump. I mean, granted, yeah, he's always a big name. He's been a big name since the 80s. You know what I mean? If if you're somebody who was born in 92 and you're 12 or 14 years old, maybe you don't maybe Donald Trump wasn't quite that well, he's an apprentice. I mean, he's still a name. He
I
was
didn't
still a
know
name.
who Donald Trump was. I saw him in Home Alone. I didn't know who he was.
You know even an apprentice.
I didn't know who he was until
The apprentice. You watched I mean,
I knew him from The Apprentice.
exactly. And that would have been like when some of these girls like in the 2004, 2005, 2006, that was apprentice time, right? Wasn't that?
I think even before then, because like I graduated high school in '04, and I think we watched The Apprentice
Yeah.
before I was out of high school.
So that's what I'm saying. If somebody who's 14, was born in the 90s, they
Yeah.
would have known who Donald Trump was. So he was a name, but when I don't know, man, it seems like they had allegations of people like that in the 90s. You know what I mean? The
I
90s.
mean, like, what a wild stretch. Like, where's the journal of like a young victim who's naming just anyone else who was, like James Vanderbeek or just anyone else who was famous from television, Where's the Pat Sajak, one or like,
Keanu is
whoever,
not in there. Keanu Reeves, I don't think is in there. I'm pretty sure Keanu Reeves was
Dude,
not on Epstein
Keanu
Island.
that, like, makes me feel good because like, Keanu Reeves is, like, known to be such, like, a great
Good
guy.
guy.
He, like, gave a whole shitload of his money from The Matrix to, like,
Yeah.
the crew and just, like yeah. So, like, that's like, reaffirms my faith in humanity. Would hate to lose John Wick. That would be a real tragedy.
Uh, yeah.
Fucking Christ.
Let's see.
Okay, I got one more
Yeah.
thing before we can move off
Yeah.
of Epstein.
Sorry. Yeah.
And this is again, like, a more of a lighthearted one. I'm gonna talk about Melania for a minute. Um, so you remember there was in the last drop, I believe,
Yeah.
this giant novelty check that Trump gave to Epstein for a gently used woman.
Yeah. We
We're
talked
pretty
about
sure
that.
that's Melania, right? That's he was buying Melania,
Yeah.
who was a
Well,
prostitute.
I think we assume. People can assume.
Well, so here's the
One can
thing. So
assume.
like, so we have talked about this. We know this from
We said that
before.
last week. We were talking about gently used. I was like, I don't think she was
But
gently
I
used.
just want to again say that like Melania Trump seems to have been a whore who was sleeping with Jeffrey Epstein and who Jeffrey Epstein then sold to Donald Trump for a ridiculous novelty check and who Donald Trump then married. And I want to say that because I would love for them to sue me so we could have discovery. So that like please sue me for disparaging your slut rag cum dumpster name, Melania Trump.
Man. And if you think Melania's a cum dumpster, like,
I mean,
if you think
and
she was a whore,
subscribe.
subscribe.
That's got to be the best like call for a
if you think,
subscription we've ever had.
yeah, that's the
In
worst.
the middle of the hot take, the marketing.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um. All right. All right.
Yeah.
Enough of the disgusting
Yeah.
tragedy. Let's move on to a happier topic. Like, what the fuck is Tulsi Gabbard doing in uh Fulton
Well,
County, and why does Trump keep talking about nationalizing elections? And I want to like lead into this with this question. So there is this trigger law. Like one of my favorite ideas for like how to beat Republicans is to take a page out of their book and to like get our own trigger laws on the books. And
yeah.
because like, we
Popular
now
vote.
have more viewers, I'm just going to reiterate this idea that like when there was all this stuff about redistricting, I was like, well, the Democrats should like own the issue morally and logistically. They should gerrymander the fuck out of everything and put in trigger laws that say like when everybody decides to adopt this same trigger law, then we'll all use a third party. But until then, fuck you. We're going to twist the knife as deep as we can. Right? We're going to gerrymander the most. Right? Like to incentivize you to agree also to like let's all stop gerrymandering and let's use something that's like a third party, non-gerrymandered, more fair for the people. I think they should do that. But so one of the things they have done on the topic of trigger laws is there's some number of states, I think it's like 17 states,
Yeah.
that have this law
The
that says
popular vote
if
trigger.
enough states if enough states sign on to this to equal the amount of electoral votes you would need to win an election, which is 270, then we will all switch and no longer give our votes like in a distributed way based on who wins the state and give the election. But we'll give all of our electoral votes to whoever wins the majority, like who gets the most votes. So it makes it so like some states aren't more important than others, or you get like, you're taking the whole state even though you barely won. It's just like one vote is like one vote. And so like if you get the most votes, then you win the election. And that's pretty like huge because that would have changed the outcome of Hillary versus Trump the first time. That would have changed the outcome of Bush v.
Almost all the
Gore,
elections.
which
Yeah.
would have given us an entirely different timeline, just a wildly different timeline
Can you
where
imagine?
maybe we didn't
We probably
waste
wouldn't
$1 billion
we
a
probably
day
wouldn't
for
be
20
using coal.
years in Iraq.
We probably wouldn't even be
Um,
using oil and gas anymore.
Fucking Christ. Anyway, like that would have been. But so there's this trigger law, right? And
Yep.
so
It's
one of
yeah,
my
it's called
thoughts
the
about as I'm hearing him talk about like nationalizing elections is like, is that like a sort of looking ahead and going, well, this is a thing that might gain even more traction as we're even more unpopular, and we don't want the states to be able to take advantage of this if we nationalize the elections. then these trigger laws won't matter because we're doing everything at the federal level, or are those not really related? And then
They're not
like
related,
explain.
but they're not
Okay.
related. But I mean, like the one thing is that it's called the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact, right? And what they say is, yeah, it says, okay, it's the agreement that activates. I'm reading right now. Once states representing at least 270 electoral votes, majority of the electoral college, have joined. At that point, all participating states pledge to award their electoral votes to whoever wins nationwide the popular vote, right, regardless of state by state results. Um, right now, enough states totaling 181 electoral votes have already agreed to it. But it's meaningless unless they get another 89 more electoral votes, states totaling 89 more electoral votes. Even if that did pass, right? Even if that did pass, it doesn't mean it would become law because there would be obviously constitutional challenges to it. Because the Constitution, I mean, as long as we're pretending that we still care about the Constitution, right?
Like
Uh,
it's like the Bible. It's like if you get into power, then you get to interpret it in whichever way benefits you in the moment.
yeah. The exact
That's
language.
that's what it means, right? To care about the
It's
Constitution.
Yeah, in Article 1, Section 4, Clause 1 of the US Constitution, it says state legislatures are given the primary authority to regulate times, places, and manner of holding elections for senators and representatives, right? Says Congress retains the power to make or alter these regulations, except regarding the place of choosing senators. The Supreme Court has interpreted manner broadly to include a complete code for congressional elections covering voter registration, supervision of voting, protection of voters, prevention of fraud, vote counting, and election returns, right? All of that, that's, the state, right? Limits on authority. So neither states nor Congress can use the elections clause to set voter qualifications or candidate qualifications for Congress. Those are governed by other constitutional provisions. 35 years old, for uh,
Right, right, right.
whatever,
You have to be a natural born
yeah,
citizen.
those are
Blah
governed by
blah.
other constitutions. Voter qualifications must match those for the most numerous branch of the state legislature. Whatever.
Isn't one of those like 35 years old, must be a natural born citizen, can't have like done like an insurrection against? Isn't that one of the qualifications? Or is that somewhere
Yes.
else?
Well, that is one of them. Yes.
Huh. Okay.
I know.
Just wanted to.
That's why when Colorado actually had a trial on the merits, and
The
they
Supreme
actually had
Court
a
threw it out,
trial and they had evidence and they concluded in an actual trial that yes,
he
Trump
couldn't
was
be on the
guilty of
ballot,
insurrection. He was giving aid and comfort and taking part in an insurrection,
and
which
then
is
they
why
challenged
they
it
were
and
going to
went
take
to
him
the
off the
Supreme
ballot.
Court.
And then the Supreme Court said the state doesn't have the authority to do that. Even
Sounds like
though we just
sounds like
read they have the manner and everything, whatever. And
when you get
whatever.
into power, you get to
I know.
interpret
Yeah.
things in the way that benefits
So
you in the moment.
So the National Voter Registration Act preempts state voter registration requirements, right? That conflict with federal standards. You can't say if you're hey, our state, we want to say 18-year-old or 16-year-olds can vote. Can't do that because the National Voter Registration Act trumps it. So the federal
Okay.
government can do some
I
things.
hate that that's the
I know. But either way,
that is from him though, right? That that's in our language because of him from some point in the past.
him? What?
It trumps it
No, that's always been in the language. That's a
before.
trump card. Think of
That's what I'm saying. That's not from him. That's older
No,
than
that's
him.
not from him. That's way older than him. Yeah.
Okay, well then I
It
guess that's fine.
predates Donald Trump. Yes, God.
Okay, I
Oof.
didn't. I
We
thought that
probably we should
it
come
was
up
just
with new
older for
words
me. I
though.
didn't realize that was
We
from
should
him.
come up with new words. It'd be like as if the word was Nazi. We wouldn't want to use the word Nazi as it used to be because now we all associate Nazis with Nazis. So
Yeah.
we should probably do the same thing with Trump.
You
Of
mean like the swastika? Well, a National
whatever. Yeah, I
Socialist is
understand.
not
Anyway,
also not. Yeah.
but
Okay.
to the point, can he nationalize this? No. No. Is that even
No,
what No, I mean, no, absolutely, flat out no. Now, if
not
you
like no, but the Supreme Court can kind of like give him a soft yes, and like
no,
no, but like he can like put the ICE officers in front of the thing and kind of get away with it because like who's gonna stop him?
no, but here's what they could do, and this is why I think the Tulsi Gabbard shit is important. First of all, director of national intelligence has nothing absolutely to do with anything like an
I thought
FBI.
I thought that stood for do not inform.
Uh, if we had a good DNI, that's what they would do with Donald Trump. Do not inform him of anything, you know. But no, like so rating the election,
Hey,
rating
didn't she date Don Jr.? Is she not the one who dated Don
no,
Jr.?
that was Kim Guilfoyle. That was Gavin
Oh,
Newsom's
okay.
ex.
So it doesn't stand for
No. Anyway,
Don Jr. nuts inside.
now
Okay. So
here's what I think is more likely. Because, like, I mean, here, he's been trying, he knows they're going to go down in flames in the midterms. He knows it. That's why they tried pushing for the redistricting. Mid cycle redistricting. Let's get Texas. Let's get all these. That
that went
backfired.
well.
That backfired. Democrats netted one extra seat. When all the states are said and done, Democrats netted one
And the
seat.
Supreme Court affirmed that California, like in
California
a
can do it. Yeah.
unanimous decision, that
Yeah.
California can
It was not a
use
racial
their new map.
gerrymander. Yeah. And anyway, that's that. Now, what he can do, and what I think is assuredly what will happen, and what Steve Bannon said is going to happen, even though I don't know how much Steve Bannon is still tight with everybody, right?
Uh-huh.
But he said, come midterm elections, they are going to flood the Democratic cities, all the polling places with ICE officers everywhere. He
I saw
said
him saying that. Yeah.
he said they're just going to flood it with them. And now, in Steve Bannon's words, to make sure they don't steal the election again.
Well,
But
so
what
here's
we
the
know
thing.
that
Like,
means,
just
they're
like
going to swarm them with.
mail in votes, early votes.
Well, they're trying to get rid. Well, remember, like the was it Face Act, the Face Act, whatever. What is it called? Save Act, Face Act,
Save America Act.
Save Act. Yeah, the Save Act.
It's a Save America
Safeguard
Act.
American Voter Eligibility Act.
Don't you
Uh,
want to save America?
it's just
Like,
called the Save Act, by the way.
you're
But
against saving America? Why
uh,
don't you want to save America? Are
it
you a
man,
terrorist?
the newer version, Save America. It's a different one. Okay, they had two. They had the Save Act.
I
They
just
had a
saw what
newer
they're
one.
talking
It's a newer
about. And
version. Yeah, it says a
what's
newer
the
version of the Save Act.
Carolyn
Yeah,
Levitt? I just saw fucking Darth Vader, blonde Darth Vader, fucking talking about it.
yeah. The
So
Save
I knew
America
that
Act
Save
combines
America.
the original citizenship verification requirements with a national voter ID mandate. So everybody would have to get a brand new go- govern federal government issued ID for voting. So the federal government knows your party affiliation, they know everything else, and they're be the ones in charge of giving you this ID so that you can vote. So you can
So
trust the Trump administration to provide you, Gabe, the ID that you need to vote for your Democratic representative of your
so what
choice.
you're saying is, so let me just see if I understand how this would go. I'm gonna go and tell the federal government, by way of them getting some records, that I am a registered Democrat or registered as a Democrat or as an independent. Who knows what I am? But I'm gonna let them know, hey, I'm registered as a Democrat, and can I please have my card in a timely fashion so
So
I
I
can
can vote.
register to vote,
Yeah.
so I can then go vote. And they're gonna be like, yes, person who I know is totally gonna vote against me.
Yeah.
Um, Let me make sure that I give you your
Delay,
card
delay,
in a
delay,
timely
delay.
fashion, and I don't just like,
Yeah.
oopsie, it took so long to print. I was just doing my due diligence on all these demon rats. I mean, Democrats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Now neither has become law because the Democrats have been filibustering even the original one. So the original one hasn't passed. The second one's not going to pass because Democrats are doing the filibuster. As long as the filibuster is still a thing, that's not law. You know,
So wait. So is this the same? Is this the same thing that like is going to disenfranchise women by
the
forcing
name changes
them to? Yeah. So like if you got married
and a real
or you
ID
had a
doesn't
name change
count.
for any other
Yeah.
reason, then the ID that doesn't have your maiden name, like the name on your birth certificate, isn't going to work, and so you're going to have to go and get new documents from the federal government in
Yes.
time to then
To vote.
register,
Yeah.
and then in time to then vote
Yeah.
with the new documents.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked.
Yeah. But
That's supposed to
luckily,
disenfranchise like 40 million married women or something like that, or like a
it
whole
was a
bunch of old
lot.
people,
I mean,
and a whole bunch of kids who are in college who might not have access to their
The Brennan Center
documents.
estimated 21.3 million eligible voters lack access to the required documents to be able to get that under that law. It would affect more
Meanwhile,
people. because like if
Meanwhile,
you're,
dude, in Ukraine, there is one app that,
I know,
like,
does
you pay
everything.
your taxes, get your tax return, you do all your payments. It's like it's your Cash App, it's your driver's license, your passport, your DMV, you fucking vote with this app. Like, it's the one fucking and it's secure and it works for everything in the country. Fucking imagine what we could do.
Yeah, but either way, you can't nationalize it. There's no way. Now, what they could do is this, depending on what states, like say, like here, Georgia and Arizona in 2000 didn't do what he wanted them to do, right? So those states have gone more MAGA. Well, not maybe not Georgia necessarily, but definitely Arizona. You know what I mean? If say he went into Phoenix and they had a whole bunch of ICE people, maybe they send the FBI, maybe the federal,
Bro,
maybe Tulsi
if
Gabbard.
ice went into Phoenix, those fuckers would melt. It is an
Either
oven in the summer. It
either
is
way, let's say Tulsi
150
Gabbard.
degrees
Let's
in
say
the
Tulsi
shade.
Gabbard goes down there the night of the election, and says, "Hey, we've been investigating this shit after we uncovered evidence of fraud from 2020." Which, whatever, that's bullshit, you know. And on the night of the election, she sent some FBI agents in there and took all the ballots. Now, what's Arizona going to do? They can't get those ballots. They can't do a do over. They can't tell everybody, "Hey, if you voted in Phoenix, come out and vote again." Now it's too late. Are they? Do you think the state legislature in Arizona would certify their vote without counting Phoenix's? I think they would. You know what I'm saying? Now he said 15. He said there's 15 places they need to do this at. I mean, you can figure where the places
Bannon
are.
said that there's 15.
Trump said that, and he started naming a few of them. He named, like Philadelphia.
Dude, this motherfucker is like so desperate to give away. He's like, guys, we totally
He
have
didn't
a
name,
plan. Let
he
me
didn't
tell you
name
my
all
plan to like
15.
to fuck you over.
He didn't name all 15, but he did say places like Philadelphia, and Georgia, and Atlanta, and Arizona. Some of these places where the swing states. So I mean, like Philly wouldn't go for it. I don't think Georgia would go for it. But if the federal government came and just took the shit, who's going to stop them? That's one thing I don't. This what we're seeing right now is evidence that the courts won't. The courts will stop him, but the Supreme Court won't stop him, and nobody can stop him
Here's got
quick
to be the
enough.
hope.
Nobody
Here's
stops
got
him
to be
quick
the hope.
enough. Well,
No, here's got to be the hope that like we can guess what the 15, the 30, the like 600 most likely places, most vulnerable places for this bullshit to go down are.
big cities, yeah.
And then we're going to fortify those with police officers who are going to physically stand in the way and not allow federal officers to do it. And they're going to have court orders and they're going to have guns and they're going to have the whole fucking, the
And
cavalry will
so you,
ride out and like,
and you really think they would have shootouts with feds?
no, you think the feds are gonna think about that? Who does that look worse for, right? The police are there to say, no, you're not taking the votes until we're done and we've certified the election. And the feds are there to say, no, we're going to take these votes because we're going to investigate them. We're going to like break the process and remove the votes. And then we're going to tell you what we think the election was. And you can decide whether to certify or not. And like, and they're going to be like, no. And they're going to be like, okay, well, then we'll kill these cops. You think they're going to kill? You think that the ICE are going to kill cops to steal the ballots to take them to another location, and that's going to go in favor of the Trump?
No, but I think
Really? No
no,
way.
but I think if there is a standoff between feds and states, and the feds aren't getting their way, I think we know what Trump would call that:
Insurrection.
insurrection. In which case, you can invoke the Insurrection Act, and then the elections are on pause. I mean, any way you slice it, I don't see a good outcome.
Then it's gonna no, but then it's gonna go. Then it's gonna go to the courts. Okay. And here's the thing that like is giving the Supreme Court pause because like this is in a bunch of their recent arguments, like their oral arguments and their decisions recently, where they're like basically like in think ahead a little bit guy and like at some point we're not going to be in power and they're going to be in power. You don't want to give this power to whoever the next president is. Like they're making that argument when they were trying to get rid of Jerome Powell. They were like, you can't just get rid of the head of the thing. Like there's all these reasons why you can't fire him, blah blah blah. And if we allow you to like to do this pressure campaign that like amounts to you like looking for a reason to try to fire someone. Then everyone's going to be fishing for a reason to fire someone. Then they're going to find a reason. They're going to fire whoever they want to fire. We get them to pressure them to resign, whatever. And it's going to be this equivalent to just being able to always put your guy in, which is the opposite of the point of the thing being separate anyway. So like if we give you that power, then obviously what's going to happen is everyone once we give a power, everyone uses the power because why wouldn't you? You should use all the power you have. So then it's going to happen to you. So then whoever comes in and wins the election is going to put in their own Fed chair, and it's going to be destabilized because it's going to be put directly under the executive. That's how it's going to play out. So we probably shouldn't do this, guy. Like this is a fucking short-sighted plan. No.
I didn't think the
So
Supreme
they're going to
Court weighed
probably
in
do
on the Fed
something
share
similar
stuff.
with this.
I didn't see anything that the Supreme Court weighed in on Fed share stuff. Some people were
Oh
talking
yeah,
about it.
it was like oral arguments. It's that guy who kind of sounds like Robert Downey Jr. or not Robert Downey Jr. Robert RF Kennedy,
I
RFK.
know who you're talking about. I hate that guy. Yeah, the
Yeah,
guy who
he's
argued
some
that Trump
lawyer.
can kill anybody.
Yeah, he's the Trump. He's the guy who like frequently argues on
Solicitor
behalf of the
General.
Trump administration.
Solicitor General.
What's his
John
name?
Sauer. John Sauer.
John Sauer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sauer. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, the dude who argued that Trump could theoretically, yes, kill his political opponents, and he would not be subject to to arrest or any criminal charges unless he were impeached, and convicted of it.
And also, didn't he also argue that like that they
Mm.
can accept bribes as like a tip after the fact?
There's no such thing as bribery. It's gratuities, and that is allowed by the Supreme Court now. It's a
Are we
gratuity.
taxing those tips at least? Are we going to tax
That's just a gratuity. I
on the
mean,
topic of gratuity?
yeah.
It came out that the Saudis bought $150 million of Trump coin at the inception as like a straight up, we're immediately giving the Trump family.
I don't know about the Saudis. You sure you're not talking about the UAE in exchange for those chips? That's not new. I can't believe that's a news story. If they're talking about UAE taking the 49% stake of global.
Yes, that is what I'm
Yeah,
thinking of.
UAE. Yeah. At the very beginning, before they even had their coin, when they had the idea, we have a plan.
We're going to
We're
make
going
a
to have
company
a
that's going to
stable
make a
coin.
coin that we're going to sell, like Bribe
Yes.
Coin,
Yeah, they got 49% stake in ownership of it, put $150 million directly into Trump's pocket.
into
And then,
Bribe Coin Incorporated.
and I remember when this happened. I remember when that happened. And I remember like 2 months later, it wasn't even, was it like 2 months later, a month and a half later, whatever, after he got inaugurated, pretty much right off the bat, the top secret AI chips, the best of the AI chips that national security said, we cannot export to anybody. We're not
We
exporting
gave the
these.
UAE.
Nobody can get it. People just gave Trump $150 million to kickstart his little GoFundMe. Yep, they got it. And
It's a go bribe me, bro. Come
go
on, it's a
bribe
go
me. Yeah,
bribe me.
whatever. But yeah. But I remember when that happened. And I don't like this thing. I just said this like the other day. I was watching the news story. They're talking about all this reporting. Chris Murphy was reading about the center, like, we just got this great reporting here about this thing. I'm like, that's not new. There's just so much corrupt shit that people lose track of it. I remember that story when we get the
Well, there
chips
was
to
an
him.
article recently that was like totaling it up. I feel like I heard different reports. I saw like one headline from somebody in New York Times maybe that was like, hey, this is how much like we were adding it up. It's like 1.4 billion, but I think that
Yeah.
might have just been from lawsuits. I can't remember if that was like corruption or just lawsuits. And I think I heard another thing that was like, well, it seems like he's enriched himself in the first year as much as like 4 or 5 billion. I can't remember exactly which thing I saw because I don't think I dug. I was just like, yes, obviously he did a lot of corruption. No one seems to care, but you know, any number, whether it is 1.4 or 5 billion or one Qatari fucking jet. Wait, you know, bro, like we're not gonna worry about Arizona. Arizona's not gonna be an issue for the elections
3.4
because
billion. Yeah, sorry, 3.4 billion.
3.4
$3.4 billion this term.
$3.4 billion.
Yep. Yep, his cryptocurrency bribe thing is over $1 billion.
And this is the guy who was selling like Trump Bibles like and like gold sneakers on the campaign trail. Like
Man. And
you gotta respect the grind, bro. Come on, like hustlers
Grind.
out there
It's
hustling.
not a grind. It's not even a grind. It's so much easier than that. I mean, it's so much easier than that. It's not even a grind. It's just like, hey, you're a dictatorship. Cool. I don't have to deal with you. Let's go talk in private. Hey, all right. I want like, a couple $100 billion. What do you want? Oh, you want some AI chips? Some fucking computer chips? Done. Cool. Cost
But
Trump
no, we're
nothing. Trump gets a couple $100 million and for some fucking computer chips.
but
Whatever.
there's a Qatari Air Force base in Arizona.
It's not
Like,
technically an Air Force base, but yeah, it's stupid.
so like I'm sure the elections will be fine there. Like nothing the Qataris will keep it unlocked for us for sure.
Oh man, there's just so much. I mean, it's
All right, moving on to happier topics. Let's talk about the Clintons.
okay.
All right, so here's what I know about the Clintons. So a while ago, the Clintons were called before Congress, and I think they even like went to some closed door sessions and were testifying. Not sure. I'm not 100% sure on that part. But there's like a tweet from Hillary saying we were cooperating for 6 months, so maybe they were. I'm not sure
Hmm.
exactly what the cooperation entails. So like they're maybe cooperating, okay? They're doing
Yeah.
some stuff behind closed doors. Then they subpoenaed them, like, hey, you have to come and testify about the Epstein files before Congress. And Trump comes out and Trump is like, yeah, that Bill Clinton is like all these Epstein files are coming out and it's all about Bill Clinton. That's why the Democrats are probably going to be backing off of this story. And then, they don't want to like, they're doing the same thing, guys. They're just like, it doesn't matter who did what. If they're on my team, it's fine. So they're going to like totally drop it because it's all pointing to Bill Clinton now, obviously. Like it's
Yeah,
and so
and
and so they're trying to get them to testify. And the Clintons were like, "Yeah, fuck you, make me." They're like, "No, we're not going to testify." And the rumbling was that they were doing that to because they wanted to have them testify behind closed doors. Well, it turns out there's another reason. So they do want to be able to testify in the public, and Hillary has tweeted like, "Hey, yeah, it's fine. You let us know. We can come out. We'll turn the cameras on. We'll tell the world everything you want to hear. We'll tell the whole sordid story, all of it. It's fine." Um, and they've held them in they I
yeah,
don't know if they
contempt of
actually did,
Congress.
but they like filed a motion to hold them in contempt of
Contempt of
Congress, or like
Congress.
said,
Yeah.
"We'll hold you in contempt of Congress
Yeah,
if
which
you don't come and testify." And so now there's a record of the Congress compelling a former president to come and testify about the Epstein files in a public hearing, which means that that is now the way that this works. You can force
they can force
former
anybody to.
presidents.
They've always been able
So
to.
now that means they will be able to force Donald Trump, who will soon be a former president, to come and testify before. And this guy, he never testifies in anything because he is a complete shit show whenever he talks and is bound to any sort of like factuality.
Well, he's done horrible other depositions. You saw the other depositions. He's like, remember, he's like,
Like this is the same guy who's like desperate to brag about the plan to steal the election and like this man will fucking hang himself.
here's the thing though. The worst things that Trump does. I can't remember who said this. I heard this like on a blur, but somebody was talking. My phone was playing. That's one thing. By the way, I do not like about Substack. Substack, you watch one story, right? You read a story, you have a video. When it's done, it'll play the next video. You're still reading the original article, and a player will just keep playing the next thing and the next thing, the next thing, but you can't even see what it is or who's talking. You can't read the story along with it. It just keeps on
On
going forever.
mobile or on web?
Mobile. It's shitty. Yeah. So I was like, I hate that. So somebody was talking, and I don't remember hearing, but somebody made a point to talk about Trump. They're like, the thing they're concerned about is this about Tulsi Gabbard being there. And it's not just Tulsi Gabbard trying to do something for the president to stroke his ego or whatever, I mean, maybe, but whatever. The thing when Trump is doing something really bad is because he doesn't take credit for it. He denies that he did anything. Right? Whenever he'll say a bunch of shit and be like, I did it, it's a perfect call, it's perfect, I did this, I said this, blah, 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 blah. But, or when he does something, he'll try to claim credit for it. I did this, I shut down the border. Sleepy Joe couldn't shut down the border, I did it. Even if it's horrible, brutal tactics, he'll say, I did it, I did it. He'll try to claim credit for things, even if he didn't do it, right? When he knows it's bad. I didn't know anything about this. I don't know that guy. That's your son-in-law. I don't know the guy. I've never met him before in my life. I don't know. I mean, he'll deny knowing people.
His
He will
name is
travel the
Don
distance.
Jr. I never met him.
I don't know who that. I don't know who that guy is. I've
That's your
never met him.
daughter, Melanie
No,
Trump. I've
but
never heard
yeah,
of her.
you E. Jean Carroll. E. Jean Carroll. I didn't even know her. Just some crazy woman. I have no idea who she was. Right? When he does something really bad, he doesn't. He denies it. And when he was, they're asking him, why was Tulsi Gabbard there? What was going on here? I have nothing to do with it. He said he had nothing to do with it. I don't know. As far as he knows, the FBI was looking into it. He had nothing to do with it. He didn't order it. Tulsi Gabbard had to tell Congress under oath that she did it at the direction of Donald Trump.
Well, didn't she like it's funny that he says he doesn't know anything about it because
They
she
were on the
called him
phone.
and put him on speakerphone so he could
Yes.
give the FBI agent a pep talk.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
What the fuck is that nonsense? It's like,
every time he does something really bad, he denies it. He denied going to Epstein Island. He denied going to Rape Island, even though he's on the logs. He denied.
didn't he? Isn't there like a money trail between him and Epstein where like he gave Epstein over $1 billion?
Uh,
I swear I remember hearing something like it was like $1.5 billion or something like 1.2 or 1.4 billion in
let's see.
like checks. Like he was paying him for services or something. Like allegedly it was
Let's see. Da,
for
da, da,
like financial
da.
services or something, but he like gave him like like over $1 billion of and it was like there was like
Social
over
media.
1,000 individual checks or something
Hold
like
on,
that.
hold on, hold on, hold on. Is it okay? This is sometimes I like this AI from Brave browser. Anyway, this claims about money from Trump to Epstein have circulated widely, but many are false or unsubstantiated. Social media posts claim that Donald Trump made 4,725 wire transfers to Epstein, totaling
That's what I'm thinking
1.1
of.
billion. This misrepresents statements by Senator Ron Wyden, who said Treasury documents revealed 4,725 wire transfers totaling nearly 1.1 billion flowing in and out of one of Epstein's bank accounts, not specifically to or from Trump. A
I
spokesperson for
see.
Wyden confirmed that Trump was not mentioned in the documents reviewed by the Senate Finance Committee.
I see.
So fact checkers from PolitiFact and Snopes rated that claim as false.
Okay.
It does say that
Okay.
unverified tips to law enforcement haven't been substantiated. Says some unsubstantiated tips to law enforcement alleges financial or personal misconduct by Trump involving Epstein. They have not been substantiated by investigations or released documents. So we don't know. But I, I I would be willing to bet that Trump probably didn't have to give him money because he gave him the girls. The girls came from Mar-a-Lago, and Trump got to bang them. So I mean, if you know what I'm saying, it's he probably didn't need to.
Yeah.
They were buddies. They had their little camaraderie. Yeah, I mean, they had their little thing there. Epstein brings his girlfriend over, and Trump starts groping her, and then he starts
And if
going
the
and see
whole
if they can
thing
get away
okay,
with,
that
it, and they
makes
go
sense.
back and
That
forth,
makes
and
sense.
they they probably didn't. He probably wasn't having to transfer him tons of money like the average
Yeah, it
Joe.
makes more sense. It makes more sense. Like there's a lot of stuff that you hear
He's
about
a lot
Epstein
more
about how
involved.
like
Yeah.
about how it's like, oh, we're gonna have all these intellectual luminaries or these like political celebrities or you know what I mean? Like people of note are gonna be here.
Hmm.
That's the reason to come.
Yeah.
Like come for the notoriety of the other guests, like for the prestige of like being in the room with
And
Bill
then
Clinton.
for the people who are in
Stay
the yes, yeah,
for the compromising sex party where you end up getting on tape with the girl who said she was 18 because, whatever. Or the girl that Epstein said was 18 who was definitely like 14 and
yeah. And
et
see,
cetera, et cetera.
I don't know, man. My gut. I know that, and I'm not defending him or whatever either, right? I did like him. I always liked Bill Clinton as a politician, right? My gut tells me, with all the other shit that he went through and all the other stuff he did, my gut tells me that he wasn't banging underage girls there. You know what I mean? At least not knowingly. You know what I mean?
You think he was banging Trump?
No, no, I don't think. No, I don't think.
There was also
I
like a story that
know the email you're
Bill
talking about. He said, "Do you have the one of
there was
Trump
this thing that
blowing
like
Bubba?"
Bubba was the name of Ghislaine Maxwell's horse also apparently.
Oh God. Either way, I wouldn't
I
be
want that
surprised.
video. Come on, can that
No,
be in
here's
the
the thing though.
Epstein
Here's the
files?
thing though. Know what I think would be more likely is some scenario along the lines of somebody he loses a bet and he has to have a big old picture and act like he's blowing him or something. Something tells me that is much more likely
Yeah,
than
something.
Bill Clinton. I mean, come on, man. Just think about it. I don't
He,
see
like,
that
fell
happen.
asleep early at the party, and then they, like,
You see, I don't
they did
know.
something with a picture. Yeah, that makes sense.
Something along those lines. Or whatever, man. A doll that looks like had something in part.
Okay, but just to think for a second,
Yeah.
just to, like, rage bait these assholes into discovery yet again with, like, a funny, like, aside, okay? Just, like, maybe do you think it's possible that, like, Donald Trump there is, like, a video of him, like, filleting a horse? And, the reason I ask this is, like, if this exists and it came out, do you think he would survive politically, or do you think that would finally be, like, a bridge too far and they'd be like, "Alright, we the evangelicals
Think
can
he would
no longer follow the horse fucker."
no. He'd say it's AI. He would just deny it, say it's AI, it's a fake
No, but, like, what do
video.
we know for sure that it's not AI and it's,
It
like,
doesn't
everyone
matter.
definitely sees it?
It doesn't matter because they all know that Donald Trump very publicly called Brad Raffensperger and told him to find the votes, right? Or he called Kemp or whatever. He told him to find the votes. It was
You know,
Brad
like,
Raffensperger.
here's the
They
thing
all
about that
know it's
call.
real. It's a real phone call. Audio's there. Everybody in the fucking world heard it, right? And he just goes out and says, it's a perfect call. It's a perfect call. And then all the Republicans who know it's fucking illegal, they're like- they just go out there and act like it's okay. No, it's
Here's the thing
fine.
about that call. Uh, with that call, like, I don't feel like that's the right thing to try to hang him on because
Just one more example. I'm just saying it's one more
I
thing.
could see like, you're calling and you're like, "Come on, man, you're telling me that, like, that there's not, like, 14,000 votes that, like, we didn't count already? Like, you sure we really counted everything? Like, we got all the mail-in ballots already? Like, you can't find 11,000 votes in a closet somewhere? Come on, bro, we counted everything? You sure? Recount that shit. Find me 11,000 votes. It's there. I know these people voted for me." Like, I could see that being the I don't feel like it's as I never felt it like that was as damning. It was like, aha. He wasn't like, "Look, man, just go down there and like make some fucking new ballots out of fucking thin air, right? Just write my fucking name on them. Like, go down there and scratch out fucking country and put in Bubba the Hut, whatever. Like,
Yeah,
you know
but
what I
I
mean? Like
mean,
Orange
there was
Heart.
more. I mean,
Like,
there was more
you
involved
know
in
what I
that
mean?
call, though. There was more involved in the call. He
No,
like
yeah, for
threatened.
sure. Just like it didn't
He
seem
was
like
he was threatening
there's
putting him
definitely
in
like the
jail.
trend is clear. Like his intention is clear, but like
You know,
I don't feel like it was as obvious of a gotcha as it was made out to be.
I don't know, man. He was threatening him with saying, "You know, this is a criminal offense. If you don't do this, blah blah blah. It's a big risk to you." Like he's going to send the feds after him.
Yeah, no, I think that's worse.
He did that in the same phone call.
Saying like I think that is
I
worse
mean, I'm
than
just
the other
saying,
part.
yeah. I'm just saying, though. I mean, he's done things before,
He's done plenty of
caught in the
horrible
act.
shit that like we
He's done
all know he
horrible
did.
shit. Everybody watch. I mean, fuck. Look at January 6th. Look at January 6th. Look at the fucking insurrection that happened on the Capitol, and they still claim all of the Republicans who at the time were like, Donald Trump is responsible for this. This is horrible. It's a stain on this day on Washington. This is the saddest day in America in our history. Blah blah blah. Okay, fast forward a year, and they're all in lockstep. Everybody knows what they saw. They all know what happened, and they all go, "It was those patriots on January 6th, those political prisoners of Biden, those wonderful patriots, those
They're
tourists."
they
You
were just
know,
paid protesters, man. Come on.
I'm just
Like
saying,
it
they all say it though. They'll say it. If Trump was filleting a horse, they would watch it, they would laugh amongst themselves. They would think, "Oh my god, dude, blah blah blah. I can't believe Trump got the fucking guy." Okay, well, all right, game face on. We got to go
or
on
it's just
Fox,
complete.
and we got to all say it's AI. We all agree. We cannot agree. We cannot say that this is real, even though we all know it's real, and everybody's going to know it's real. We all have to go out there and say it's not real. Let's
So
go.
like
And
okay,
that's what
so
they would
like
do.
look, so
That's what they would do.
we know that they do that, right? Like we know that they do that. But we also know that like that's what they did with Nicole Good and that's what
Pretty,
they did with Alex Preddy.
yeah.
And that like when enough people
See,
stand up and say no, and then like because so many people are saying no, fuck that, then you have it like it was seeping into like normal like places outside of like,
I know. It's
you know,
just talking about
like
like sports
we're
talk
talking
and
about it,
Charles
right?
Barkley. Yeah,
And
and they're
all the political podcasts talking about it. But yeah, then like Charles Barkley is like on an NBA
yeah,
broadcast and like, well, this is
yeah,
pretty fucked up, you know,
yeah,
et cetera, et cetera. So like it was
yeah.
like if enough people say, no, the emperor's new clothes are not invisible. He is naked and he has been sold a lie, you know, or he is
I mean,
lying to us, whatever.
there is some truth in the fact that if enough people, blah blah blah, fill in the blanks, right? How do you prove that? Right? The only way to prove it's elections.
Yeah.
And if they do send in the FBI or they do send in a bunch of ICE thugs out there to start beating the fuck out of people and grabbing people, oh, brown people are voting. We know they're not voting for us. Go get them, boys.
Dude,
Right?
this is gonna be a shit show of
It is
people
going to
getting
be a shit
arrested
show.
on election day,
It's going to happen. It's
people being
going to happen.
afraid to go try to vote on
It's going to
election
happen.
day.
It's going to happen.
They're gonna be at the certain polling places, and
Hmm.
the white Southern Christians are gonna be like,
I
"There
know.
was no ICE," or they'll
Yeah.
be like, "Oh, the ICE was there, but they were all friendly. Like
That's what I'm
the
saying.
Uncle Ice
All of
like
it.
helped Granny down the street. The
I
ICE
think,
is so nice."
I think all of this shit's going to happen. I think all of it's going to happen. They're going to be trying to stop the early voting. They're going to be slowing up the mail for states who have early voting. I bet you those people's ballots will sit in fucking trucks for weeks. Supreme Court already ruled that they can do their change, which is if it's postmarked, right, before the election day, but not processed, oops, it no longer counts. You know,
So they could just slow down the mail
slow
processing,
the fucking mail down.
like they have been doing for quite a
Yes,
long.
but now the law says they don't have to count it. They can't count it. So if they get it postmarked 2 weeks early and it just sits somewhere and they don't ever count it, it doesn't get counted. Oops, we didn't
There's
count
a
it.
lot of places that have early in-person voting.
I know, but I mean, they're going
I
to
mean, not
be
every state, certainly, like, a lot of
correct.
red states don't
And
have
that's what
it.
we're talking about. National, you can't nationalize elections, right? Every state has their own rules, but they're going to be putting the screws to things. They're going to be leaning on red states, swingy red states, like Georgia's, Arizona's, Nevada's. You know, they're going to be swing on these states.
Pennsylvania,
Yeah, they got
Wisconsin,
Josh Shapiro there. I mean, Josh Shapiro's going to give them the bird, you know. But for the places with more Republican support, you know, governors and stuff like that,
Georgia, Louisiana,
I think. I mean, well, Louisiana's probably not
Carolina.
swinging anymore, but yeah, they're probably going to go along with things. Maybe they get threatened with funding. Hey, you can't do this. You can't do this. You got to do this. We're going to put ICE at the polls. You know, we're going to do this. They're going to try all that shit. They're going to try and slow down the mail. They tried redistricting. I wouldn't be surprised if they send the FBI down there to monitor the election or something, and then take ballots, take stuff. I think it's going to be
They're gonna throw all
they're
of the
going to throw
teams at
all of that shit,
the throw
all
it
of it
all
at
at
the
the wall
election.
and see
They're
what
going to
sticks.
do all of it, yes. And the only way they don't win is if the numbers are so over the fucking top, you know, against them that, you know, exit polls come out and you got like 70% of people be like, fuck that. No, I voted against these motherfuckers. And then,
What has to happen for that to happen?
what do you mean with that?
What's a circumstance that needs to exist in the country for there to be this overwhelming, you know, vote against him? Like, are we already there? We've accomplished it? Like,
I mean,
you know, we just sit tight and wait.
you saw Tarrant County, right? You saw the state Senate seat in Tarrant County, Texas, Fort Worth.
Went to a Democrat.
Yeah, you saw it since it hasn't gone to
And
a Democrat
I
since.
saw the guy running for
Yeah,
governor in Minnesota who dropped out. He's like,
yeah.
I
I
can't
can
run
well, you
for
can't
the
be a part of this
Republican
party.
Party. I can't be a part of this party."
I mean, it could. I mean, Tarrant County hadn't gone to a Democrat. They said since I think they said 72 was the last time a Democrat won it.
Like 40 something years, right?
70,
72 would
80,
be
90 to
50 years.
yeah, 60 years, something like that. I think it's 60 years, something like that. 60, 70. It's a long time. It's like since the 70s. And Donald Trump won it by 17. The Democrat won it by 14 in one
Jesus
year.
Christ.
In one year, that's a 30-point flip. So I mean,
I mean, we've been
it
saying that
could
like
be, it could be a
they're
white, it
governing
could
like there's no fucking more elections for how long?
exactly. That's the scary part, man. Like Tim Miller said that a long time ago, like, you know, months ago. He's like, the scary part is they're governing, they're doing stuff as if there is no consequences. There won't be elections. Trump said
Yeah.
before, vote for me, you won't have to vote again. Talk about nationalizing these things. Bannon's out there very publicly saying, oh, we're going to put ICE out there in every fucking polling place. They're not going to steal another election. They're They're acting.
What about this? I heard this too, like, as a theory that, like, that the reason he's got Tulsi Gabbard going to Fulton County is to be like, um, "Oh, look at that. We've taken all the votes, so now only we have the physical evidence, and when we count it, turns out I totally won. I did really win the 2020 election. Oh my gosh, constitutional crisis. I'm already in my 3rd term. So, like, what's a 4th, right, guys? Like, I already see, I won that one, and I didn't get to, like, actually have that term. So, like, now, like, you gotta give even if I don't we can't even have an election now because I gotta get the one back from before that you didn't let me be in charge of. So I need 4 more years just like because you already owe me. Like, I was already supposed to have those 4 years, so I gotta get them back now. Like, can't be constitutioning when it, like, contradicts what I want.
Yeah, I mean,
You think there's any there?
I don't know, man. The thing with Fulton County and Tulsi Gabbard's thing is, first of all, the position of director of national intelligence, right? They're legally prohibited from participating in any domestic law enforcement. Okay, she's prohibited from participating in domestic law enforcement
How's she leading
because
the
she's claiming
FBI
she
on a
claimed it. She
raid
claimed
of
she claimed in a letter to Congress, she told Congress because they're requesting, what the fuck is the DNI doing there? Right? You're not even allowed. How are you taking part in an FBI raid when you're prohibited from anything domestic law enforcement, which would be an FBI raid, right? And she said it was at the request of President Donald Trump. And she said she claimed her role included coordinating intelligence on foreign interference and cybersecurity threats to elections. So the only thing so here's the thing that the only thing you can make sense of, if you're going to try and have a plausible, I hate trying to I hate trying to steel man their shit, right? But anyway,
plausible.
okay, it's like not plausible.
They're not really known for their plausibility.
No, but okay, so basically they're implying that they're looking at all these ballots because there must have been some foreign intelligence service who hacked the election in Fulton County.
But it wasn't Russia.
Definitely not. Why would Russia do that?
And he wasn't like
Putin said he
Starlink.
didn't
Remember
do it.
we went over the whole
Putin said he
conspiracy with
wasn't.
the
Putin said
fucking
he wasn't
power.
doing it, and I don't know why he would.
We went over the whole in a previous whatever previous episode. We went over the whole trip
Yeah,
conspiracy
don't you?
theory for how
Yeah. So I mean, remember before they were the nutcases were saying it was the dead Hugo Chavez through Dominion voting machines changing the votes, and the Jewish space
okay.
ladies. So here's the thing: if DNI is going in there and taking these things here, it's mean national security, right? Any foreign intelligence service who may or may not be hacking our elections would be classified. They'd be classified secrets, right? So the way they might use this in future midterms is we looked at those ballots from 2000. We know it's classified. It's classified. We give up sources and methods. We can't tell you how we know this, but we investigate those ballots and we could tell. China, make up your country. China hacked it. So on the night of the election, we're busting them. We're not letting that happen
Come on,
again.
man. He had a
Now that
really
we
good
caught
fall
them,
with
now
Xi.
that we
It
caught
would
them
be
in the
Carney.
act, we're gonna
Canada hacked it.
Canada,
That's who hacked it.
whatever.
Canada.
Yeah, that's something I could see them doing on the midterms.
I'm like, oh, we
What?
definitely can't like show you any evidence because it's super classified. But
Mhm.
Canada definitely hacked it.
Yeah, I mean something like that. And then here, what are they going to do? I mean, take it to court, right? I mean, I know they
They're
have
gonna
like
go to court. And they're gonna have to prove it. They're gonna have to prove it to a judge. They're gonna be like, this is a judge who has clearance for C classified shit. That's the thing that judges have, and like, you got to prove it.
I mean, but yeah, it's
You can't just say classified. I'm not gonna show my homework to a judge.
I know. And then you're just hoping that whatever judge gets assigned the case in whatever district it is isn't appointed and loyal to Donald Trump. Wouldn't it be a shame if Eileen Cannon gets promoted and she's the next federal judge? She's a federal judge, but let's say she's whatever, man, fucking move it up a notch. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying though? They're appointing a lot of judges. You know what I mean? The Ninth Circuit,
Yeah.
the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, California, Oregon, it used to be a liberal court. It's not anymore. It's crazy. So you'd be rolling the dice on a judge in that case.
It's gonna be this, and it's gonna be Marshall. Like
And
it's
you'd
gonna
be
be too
rolling the
many
dice.
things for us to all pay
And here,
attention to.
and then you'd still be rolling the dice on them following a judge's orders, which they're not doing in Minnesota. You saw the lawyer, right, for the DOJ who got reassigned now after you saw that yesterday. Oh my God! Look up um, Minnesota. This job sucks. There you go. Look at the first hit result you get from Minnesota. This job sucks.
We got the Guardian ICE attorney who said this job sucks. Removed from detail.
Yeah, she asked the court. She told the judge she wishes that he would hold her in contempt so she could spend the night in jail and get a good night of sleep. This job sucks. She detailed how ICE doesn't listen to them. They keep violating court orders, and she told the judge, "We can't make them follow the law, follow the court orders. They won't listen to us. They won't do anything. They blow us off. They don't want to hear it. They don't care." She can't get her client, ICE, to follow the law in court.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did see this. Now I see this. I did see the headline. I didn't read the story.
Yeah,
That's fucking
yeah.
wild.
She detailed those. You're like, yeah, we try, we reach out, they delay, they don't talk to us, they don't answer the phone, they won't do anything, they don't get back to us, they won't. It's like I can't make them follow court orders.
Jesus Christ. What's the
Yeah,
enforcement mechanism?
there is none.
DOJ?
DOJ. That's what I'm saying. So say the federal election, say FBI raids some elections, right? And a judge says, "Hey, well, we reviewed what you said is classified. There is nothing fucking here, man. This is like the My Pillow guy writing a manifesto. That's your evidence? That's not evidence." And then he goes, "No, I'm ordering these ballots to be reinstated." And then, whatever. And he goes, the Trump administration could just not do it and say, "We're not going to let national security be dictated by one activist judge." And then what's the enforcement? The DOJ. It
Man.
has to be so fucking overwhelming that Republicans flee him.
I don't like our chances.
I know it's so
I don't like
fucking.
our odds.
I think we're gonna
I
end up in
wouldn't
a camp, dude. I mean, I'm laughing when I say it, but I think in a few years we're gonna be in a camp, and it'll be like Russia. They'll be treating me like what was his name? Uh, from fucking Game of Thrones, getting flayed. Greyjoy or whatever. What's his name? Ugh.
Grey Worm. No, Grey
Yeah,
Worm
whatever,
no, Grey Worm was from the other one. He was good. He had a good thing.
whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
I know what
Eon,
you're talking about.
Theon,
Theon. Fucking Theon.
Theon,
Theon
whatever.
Greyjoy?
Great.
Greyjoy?
I think it's Theon Greyjoy.
I think it's
I
Theon
think of
Greyjoy.
that. I think we're gonna get Theon Greyjoy.
We're gonna get
Theon Greyjoy, yeah. I think we're getting Theon Greyjoy in a camp like they would do in a Russian gulag. I think that's what a future holds for us, man. That's what I think. Isn't that positive?
great. Alright, so look, we got we're,
Prediction. That was my
we're
prediction.
having a great long conversation. There's one new segment I wanted to do, kind of a riff instead of our, what could go right. It was like, what is any win that happened? Like any single good thing that you encountered in the past week. But I want to know, like, do you have time to talk about fuck my life? What was the other topic I wanted to talk about? Do you remember? I can't remember. We talked about Clinton. Oh, it was the bulwark thing and about the Dems caving on the funding.
Yeah. Well,
Do you got time to talk about that, or do you want to just do this other segment and
can we
then
wrap it up
call
in
it?
5 minutes or less?
I can try.
All right, try.
Okay,
There you go.
so there was a bulwark video where Tim Miller's talking to whatever the redheaded guy who's like has a baby face and like a super old man haircut, and that guy's like, "Wow, this was like a really great strategy by the Democrats because when you're an elected representative, like if you can, get reforms and make things a little bit better for even if it's not like a big win, but you just like make things a little bit better as you go, then like that's really what you should do because you should just make it a little bit better." And Tim like jokingly calls him he says uh he says, "You corporate sellout leftist cuck." And I'm like, that is exactly what this fucking man who is out here shilling for Hawk to a Jeffries and Cuck Boomer and selling their shit is somehow gold, like that this was some like great strategic victory on the part of the Democrats to be like, ah, yes, the whole government can be funded except for the DHS thing. That doesn't really fucking matter. That's only $10 billion on top of their already 76, 46 of which is going for concentration camps, and the other, 30, 29 is like going for slave catchers. By the way, just like on the topic of slave catchers, as like a brief aside, we know the names of the two guys who shot Alex Preddy. They're both Latino names. These fucking Uncle Tom ass slave catchers. Okay. Anyway, he's saying that like that this is like a strategic victory for the Democrats. That they're going to get like DHS is going to wear body cams, and like they're going to have standards, and they're going to have accountability. And like we talked about last week, like they're not going to have any real fucking accountability. Like we don't need body cams. We got 17 different fucking angles of them shooting Alex Pretty. There's no accountability. What the fuck is a body cam going to add? Nothing. Nothing. Like uh Renee Nicole Good's killer is filming it with his fucking phone. We don't need body cams. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Body cams. We need an enforcement mechanism for them to actually get in trouble. So, like, and I think that, the complete opposite. I don't think this is strategic victory. Like, oh, a minor win of like some meaningless reform that like isn't going to fucking result in any actual change. Like, uh, that you can like write down on your win sheet and like not have it actually mean anything. I think this is the exact opposite. By like decoupling it from the rest of the government, like you don't make it like when it's everyone's problem, right? When it's like the whole government is shut down
because of the
because
horrible
we
actions.
are
So,
using slave catchers to kill Americans in the street, right? Like to harass people in the middle of the street. It's like now it's everyone's problem because we're shutting the whole government down because of this. And like if you wanted to have food stamps or be in the military and get paid or like whatever the fuck else, FEMA payments, like now it's everyone's problem, right? Now the negotiating the leverage is now on the side of like, yeah, if that's the only issue is like not having the slave catchers gun down Americans in the street, let's make sure that happens. But they removed all the fucking leverage. So now it's just like, oh, do they get a little bit more? Do they get 2 more concentration cams or 2 less? Oh, body cams. Are you fucking kidding me? Total mistake. Total shit show. Corporate sellout, cuck fucking leftist idiot with your yellow fucking swoop haircut.
anyway, yeah, I mean, I don't know. My
I don't know
take
if that
is,
was 5 minutes.
I don't know. My take, oh, shit. Either way, I don't know. My take is somewhere in between. You know,
4 minutes. It was 4 minutes.
my take's in between, right? If they wanted to hold the line and say, all right, we know that this ice shit is horribly unpopular. Let's hold everything up to claw back money from it, right? To
Yeah.
say you already gave 75 billion, we're rescinding 50 billion from it.
Yeah.
That would have been cool. I think they know there's absolutely no chance they were going to get that, and here's why.
What about
Because
getting in there
it,
like you
it
can't go anywhere near a fucking polling place if you're ICE? You can't be within a mile of a polling place.
yeah. Well, I
Can we
don't know
get
if that's
that?
in there or not. I don't know if that's in there or not.
But I mean,
Probably, I
maybe
doubt
can
it
we
because I
get it?
didn't hear it, but I didn't read it yet. I didn't read it. You know, there is a lot of other stuff in there though. They can't do the roving patrols, right? They're no longer, because even though it was an administrative decision, rather than fight it out and make it go to the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court can sit on it forever and a day, right? They just kind of nipped it in the bud. Said you can't go into people's houses without a judicial warrant. Period. These administrative warrants are not warrants. You cannot enter somebody's house, even though that's already the law, right? It is also it well, even though it was already understood to be the law that you need a judicial warrant, and an administrative a warrant just signed from a supervisor doesn't count. That hadn't actually made its way through the Supreme Court, right? So rather than wait on all that, there you go. They got it on the books. You can't. Those administrative warrants, those ICE warrants are not warrants. You cannot go into somebody's house. So you won't have the people breaking into people's houses, and you can't have them going door to door to door. And they took out all that racial profiling shit, which granted, that's really subjective.
That
How
was
are you going
all
to
the
prove
case
it?
before.
I
That was
know.
all already the case.
What do you mean it's already the case?
They're already not allowed to go in without a judicial warrant signed by
No,
an
no, no.
actual judge.
Here.
They're
Yes.
already not
Well,
allowed to
time
do
out.
racial profiling.
Time out. A normal plain reading of the Constitution tells us that.
Or even case law. It's like
Yes.
reaffirmed in all sorts of case law.
Yeah, but that's case law before a court. That's not an act passed by Congress. You see what I'm saying? It's
We
like the
just came from
no,
the
no, no.
story about
Think of Citizens United.
the
Think of
lawyer
Citizens
who
United.
quit.
Think of Citizens United. You kept saying Bernie says it. Everybody says we got to get rid of Citizens United. You got to get rid of Citizens United.
You need to get rid of Citizens United.
How do you do that?
You pass a law.
There you go. That's what they did. That's what they did. So even though case law said you can't go into people's house without a judicial warrant, you can't do this racial profiling shit. You can't do that. That's case law.
What
Now
about
it's
the
an act of Congress.
Constitution?
Yes, yes, but
The
now it's an
the
act of
10th, the
Congress.
14th,
But
the
now it's
5th,
an act of Congress that you can't
not
just
the 5th.
you can't you can't rely on case law. Case law says Citizens United is case law. If we
I thought
pass
it was
the
the Constitution, though. I thought it was I thought the racial profiling is unreasonable search and seizure. I thought that
you would have to
it's
argue
like
what they're
the 9th
doing.
and the 14th are about why you have to have you can't just go into someone's
That is
house without a warrant.
that yes, that is but what are
It's in the
is
Constitution. They're like,
that's
what
correct.
more law
Correct.
than the Constitution do we
But what
need?
you're saying is this. They could say, we're not breaking the Fourth Amendment. Let's go to court and argue it. Let's see if they can interpret what we are doing as violating the Fourth Amendment. You know what I mean?
I think.
You see what I'm saying? Like they're not, they're said. Remember, they're using the Kavanaugh rule. We're not just saying it's because they're an immigrant. It's because they're an immigrant and they work at a low wage job and they drive a beater, or they are speaking with a foreign accent and
He
they're
had a
waiting at a
weapon of
bus stop
mass
and
ear
they're poor.
covering hat. He had
I'm
one of
just
those
saying.
phones.
I know. I'm just
You know
saying.
how dangerous those
I'm
phones
just
are.
saying. They tried to. They're either way. I mean, there's some wins. You're not going to get many wins as the minority party, and you're certainly not going to get the majority party to just give back $75 billion of funding, or probably give any of it back. The Democrats are probably just like, hey, you know what? We're going to take the wins we can get.
Sure, but you're not gonna get them to like. Yes, I understand. You're not gonna get like those huge concessions, but you could get the one thing that really matters and make the fight about the one piece that really matters, which is like there has to actually be accountability.
That's what they're trying to do, and
What
that's what they're
if
trying to do.
what
I
if
mean,
we shut the government down until Renee Nicole Good's killer and Alex Preddy's killers were charged with a fucking crime? It was just that. What if it was just we all watched them gun them down in the street and now they've been indicted?
well,
Okay, you resume governing.
there is something called overreach, man. I mean, honestly, everybody's outraged at what happened, and everybody looked at it and said, "That is
I don't give
fucking
a fuck
terrible."
about overreach.
I'm saying
Mitch
this,
McConnell.
yes, here, dude. But if you have 10 million people not getting paid, if you have a million active duty service people not getting paid because some cops aren't getting prosecuted, or some ICE people aren't getting prosecuted, people be like, "Yeah, that's fucked up. That is fucked up." But I'm not getting paid because somebody's not getting charged for another crime. You're holding me hostage for that. People would not be cool with
The
that.
person holding them hostage is the Republicans who have the majority of the vote. Like that
Either
is who
way,
is holding them hostage.
just saying, man. I mean,
You don't think the
it's.
optics of like a government shutdown favor the party that isn't in power? I don't
I
think that's
mean,
ever been the case.
normally it is the case.
Wherever bad shit happens, the people in charge always get blamed. Whose numbers are in
Usually,
the toilet right now? Trump's.
yeah, usually, not always.
We're
Usually,
we're not all pissed at the Democrats right now. Although we
no,
are all
no
pissed at
one,
the
no
Democrats
one
right
blamed
now.
the Democrats when Republicans were in charge in the House. And they did the shutdown on Clinton, stuff like that. They weren't mad at.
Yes, I'm saying.
You
Yes,
know,
this like shut it the fuck down. Use the leverage.
but I don't know. I just there's only so much leverage
Be
anyway.
Mitch McConnell
Here's the thing, though.
2 weeks
Say this.
before the election
You're
saying we're not gonna let a Supreme Court
you're in a
justice.
lose-lose situation, dude. Say they did the shutdown, okay? Full
Yeah.
government shutdown, right?
Yep.
Full government shutdown. ICE is still fully funded. They're fully funded, even in the event of a shutdown. So while all your staffers aren't getting paid and your people aren't getting paid and everything else goes down, the parks go down, military's not getting paid, everything else,
They're all
ICE,
millionaires. They can float their staff rent.
federal judges not getting paid, everybody else not getting paid, but ICE
Federal
is.
judges make a lot of money.
Not if they're not getting paid.
They have been making a lot of money for however long they've been federal judges,
I
and then they
think they
were
don't make
lawyers
as much.
before that. Those
They
guys,
don't.
there's
They don't make as
you're a
much as you think. They don't make as much as you thought.
well, like I'm guessing they make like 300-400K a year,
I'm thinking you make
which would be peanuts for lawyers of the caliber that they usually have to be in that position.
federal district judges make 197 a year. Let's see, associate. Let's see. What year is this? Uh,
Well, that is insultingly little.
Actually, oh wait, that was a different year. Okay, so in 2026, okay, they make 249,000 a year.
Okay, that's still a lot less than I thought, but that's enough to like to take a few months of a hit.
Sure, maybe. I don't know, man. I mean, either way, I'm just saying it's not the hugest money that you'd think of. It's I mean, federal judges aren't
I
getting
thought it would be like 300-400K a year, which to work at that level, you could have also just been a lawyer and probably made $1 million a year.
yeah, that's the thing. I
Yeah,
mean, there's a reason they call it government service usually. I mean, there
yeah.
you get some perks, but at the same time, it's like, you're working for the government. You're not working for anyway.
All right, we beat this up. I'm more
Okay.
angry than you. Okay?
I think it's a lose-lose situation, and I'm glad they did something to make things better. But
Did you hear about anything good? I'll go first, so you don't use the same one as me. I heard that um, Russia no longer is able to use Starlink on the front lines,
sure, yeah. I
which is
mean, yes,
that's
and
I'll take whatever wins I can get in Ukraine.
man, that's cool. That is a good one, and yes, I did hear that. Elon Musk is looking for some praise for way after he's been knowing about this so obviously for years.
Well,
He's
because he's in the Epstein files also. What night or day will be the wildest party?
yeah.
That's Elon Musk. Yeah.
Um.
What's your win? Win of any kind? Any good news?
Oh, the Ramoses, the judge ruling from when the Ramoses got out, the buddy hat and the other kids from
I
his
don't know.
school.
What's the Ramoses? What's this? Oh,
You,
Liam and his dad?
yeah, yeah,
Ah, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
The
yeah,
5-year-old that ICE kidnapped and held hostage
yeah,
to
yeah,
lure out the father of the child.
yeah. And the ruling from the judge was so good. The text of it was so good,
Oh, I didn't
and
read it. I
everybody
have to
needs to
read
read
it.
it. Everybody should read it.
Do you wanna
Everybody.
read it? Or do you
Yeah,
want
we
us
got time.
to
It's 7:56. Well,
Alright,
it's
we don't got time.
getting
We don't got
late.
time, we don't got time.
I can read it real fast though.
Okay, okay.
Shit. Ramos ruling. It was last week though. All right, here we go. Where's the full ruling? It wasn't that long. Annotating it from New York Times. Oh, here we go. Okay. Come on, man. I don't subscribe, New York Times. Fuck you.
I gotta give you my logins to shit.
Guardian, are you going to show it?
Guardian doesn't paywall.
Ah, God. All right. I'm going to go with AI renditions of it. Okay. Judge Beery issued the scathing ruling. Da, 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 da. Judge, it was better the way he read it, though, man. You really got to read it. He started off the whole thing saying, um, he said the government practice is ill-conceived and incompetently implemented deportation program. Going for a quota of 3,000 deportations, which flies in the face of the law, because you can't just say we're going to deport this many people. Another podcaster knows, like he's like you can't say we are going to set a goal. We are going to arrest 10,000 people a day. What if 10,000 people didn't commit a crime? Doesn't matter. We're arresting 10,000 people. You know what I mean? Anyway,
We're gonna criminalize being one of the
yes,
10,000 people we have
yes,
yet to
exactly.
arrest.
Um, it said he accused immigration agents of traumatizing. Oh my god, man, I hate AI summaries. Fuck, man, I'm gonna read the real ruling.
No, here, look.
Can you pull it up real
We'll
fast?
go. No, we'll cut out. We'll find it. We'll find it for real. We'll read it next week. We'll start with it.
If it
We'll start
depends,
with
it'll be
it.
2 weeks late, man. You can't do news like this. This is like stuff. Okay, here we go. Got it. I'm ready. On January 20th,
Okay,
ICE
okay.
conducted a targeted operation to arrest Adrian Alexander Conejo Arias as an illegal alien from Ecuador who was released into the U.S. by the Biden administration. Oh, fuck, man, that's not it. Fucking Trisha McLaughlin, lying bitch. Come on, man. Where's your AI shit when we need it, man?
Here, let me
Or your thing that gets past the paywall. It's right there in the New York Times article.
it's in the I use
Create a free
Ground News for
account.
that, but let me look for it. What's the judge's name?
Beery, Beary. Judge Beery's ruling. I would say Judge Beery ruling Liam. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Department Cloud. Here we go. I got it. Before the court is the petition of asylum seeker Adrian Conejo Arias and his 5-year-old son for protection of the great writ of habeas corpus. They seek nothing more than some modicum of due process and the rule of law. The government has responded. The case has its genesis in the ill-conceived and incompetently implemented government pursuit of daily deportation quotas, apparently even if it requires traumatizing children. This court and others regularly send undocumented people to prison and orders them deported, but do so by proper legal procedures. Apparent also is the government's ignorance of an American historical document called the Declaration of Independence. 33-year-old Thomas Jefferson enumerated grievances a would-be authoritarian king against a would-be authoritarian king over a nascent nation. Among others were, he has sent swarms of officers to harass our people. He has excited domestic insurrection among us for quartering large bodies of armed troops amongst us. He has kept amongst us in times of peace standing armies without the consent of our legislatures. We, the people, are hearing echoes of that history. And then there's that pesky inconvenience called the Fourth Amendment. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and persons or things to be seized. Civics lessons to the government. Administrative warrants issued by the executive branch to itself do not pass probable cause muster. That is called the fox guarding the hen house. The Constitution requires an independent judicial officer. Accordingly, the court finds that the Constitution of these United States trumps this administration's detention of petitioner Adrian Conejo Arias and his minor son. The great writ and release from detention are granted pursuant to the attached judgment. Observing human behavior confirms that for some among us, the perfidious lust for unbridled power and the imposition of cruelty in its quest know no bounds and are bereft of human decency, and the rule of law be damned. Ultimately, petitioners may, because of the arcane United States immigration system, return to their home country involuntarily or by self-deportation, but that result should occur through a more orderly and humane policy than currently in place. Philadelphia, September 17th, 1787. Well, Dr. Franklin, what do we have? A republic, if you can keep it. With a judicial finger in the constitutional dike, it is so ordered.
Nice.
It was a really
Nice.
good ruling.
That's really good.
Yeah,
That's really good.
yeah.
I'm glad you read it.
And
That's
then
nice.
under where he signed it, look at his signature. Let me share. I don't do the whole screen. I do the screen. And look how he signed it. He put the picture of him.
Ah,
He put the picture of the little kid under his signature,
nice.
and then put a couple little religious passages there to tell him, really good.
Yeah, that's really good. Awesome.
So anyway,
All right. Well, on that cheerful set of notes, good night and good luck. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. We really appreciate the viewership, and I'll have to keep coming up with clever titles for the videos to get the attention of the algorithm.
yep.
All right.
Thank
Anything?
you very
Any
much.
closing?
All right.
All right.
Take it easy,
Bye.
everybody. Bye.